Hey everyone, Dale here with Pacific Sun Technologies. I hope you're all doing well and, of course, staying safe. I've been pretty busy in the office getting new certifications for a product we've been anxious to offer customers, and that's the Enphase Ensemble system. This battery from Enphase was delayed a few times, but according to Enphase's Facebook page, it's finally shipping. The Enphase battery, which is called Encharge, is the first of its kind for this microinverter manufacturer, and it's been completely engineered from the ground up. And I'm going to get into that. But before I do, please be sure to take a second and subscribe to our channel, because you're not going to want us miss comparing this battery backup system to the Tesla Powerwall 2 and other battery storage solutions that we offer. And of course, if you're someone interested in going solar and you live in our area of Southern California, be it Riverside County, Orange County, San Diego County, heck, even Los Angeles County, then visit us online to receive a hassle-free quote. We make it easy to learn about the benefits of solar, and it of course never hurts to get a competing bid. We might just win your business thanks to our award-winning services, warranties, and prices, so use that link in the description below. Let's talk about Enphase and their fully refreshed battery system. Many of you may not know this, but Enphase actually developed smaller batteries several years back for time of use, and it was a pretty good product for what it was designed for, time of use. Enphase has since stopped production of their AC battery roughly, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, to focus on an all-in-one unit that could provide whole home backup and scalability. And let me tell you, I have to really tip my hat off to their engineer team for doing a phenomenal job of creating the Ensemble system. It is a really well-engineered product. So what is Ensemble? Well, Enphase has kind of dubbed this as their term for solar systems with battery backup, or microgrid systems. The true definition of Ensemble is a group of musicians, actors, or dancers who perform together. And they kind of took that idea of a group of individuals working together to create a group of products that will work together to provide whole home backup or partial home backup, depending on what you want. There are several parts to an Enphase Ensemble system. I'm going to start with the most important piece, the solar system, and that being with the Enphase IQ microinverters. Now, the IQ microinverters are very important to note because while you may have a solar system, it may not be compatible with Ensemble if that system is either 1, not Enphase, and 2, older microinverters from Enphase that aren't IQ, like an M series or S series or a C series. If you have an older Enphase system, you have hope though, because Enphase rolled out an upgrade program so that way those legacy systems can be upgraded to IQ microinverters. This is a very unique program only Enphase has offered its customers, and you can buy the equipment directly from them and then contract with a local installer like us to do the upgrade. Now, I did provide a link in the description so that way you can check out pricing if you have a legacy Enphase microinverter system. Now, on the other hand, like I did note, if you are someone that doesn't have Enphase microinverters at all, you're kind of out of luck at this present time. I do expect Enphase to come out with a solution for retrofitting to non-Enphase solar systems, but that might be a pipe train because they seem pretty set on it being an Enphase only all-in-one solution. And of course, if you're someone still looking to go solar, you'll have no problems getting all the latest tech for Ensemble because you're going to get the IQ microinverters with your system. Now, moving on from the solar system, you'll have the Enphase IQ Combiner 3C box. This combines the solar strings on the roof into one and also houses the Enphase Envoy, which is required for all the communications between the solar system and the devices I'm going to be talking about. Now, there's an additional communication module that is installed inside this box, which is needed for the batteries to communicate. Now, this is important to note because it can be added to an existing Enphase IQ combiner box for retrofitting the Ensemble systems. This point on is when the magic really begins to happen and when Enphase has really outdone themselves. So the first you'll always need to have the solar plus storage battery backup system is an auto transformer switch. This device will monitor the utility grid, and if it detects a grid failure or outage, it'll isolate the home so the batteries and the solar can continue to operate. Now, if this isn't something new, generator manufacturers have been using ATSs for decades. But this is new to the solar industry, and Enphase's approach is rather unique and follows closely to that of the SMA America's auto backup unit that they've developed, which, if you haven't seen that video on the SMA Sunny Boy storage and ABU, be sure to check it out because that system can be retrofitted to any existing solar system. But back to Enphase, the ATS they developed is called Enpower Smart Switch. But unlike traditional auto transformers used for generators, this unit is a bit more modular. What I mean by this is Enphase developed this unit to house the solar connections and the battery connection, so it's more or less direct feed when the system is in backup mode. This is kind of what SMA America had developed with their system. They also did something I've never seen prior, and they created a method for the system to regulate the energy flow from the solar and the batteries. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, let's take a look at the most commonly sold battery today, the Tesla Powerwall 2. When the Powerwall is installed on the home, it's a standalone unit. It doesn't control or really communicate with the solar system. It does know one is there because of the CTs installed for monitoring solar production, but other than that, it really could care less about the solar system. Now, during a grid failure, the Powerwall's gateway, which is an ATS, engages and the batteries to begin to power the critical loads or whole home, whichever setup you may have. If this grid failure occurred during the day, you would think the solar would be producing power to the home, but that's actually not the case. In fact, the solar is off until the batteries reach a certain depth of charge, usually around 60 to 70%. At that point, the Powerwall turns on a special 60 Hertz frequency, which will turn on the solar inverter for the system. Only during this time is the solar and the batteries powering your home simultaneously, and when the batteries reach a level of 90% charge, they shut off that 60 Hertz frequency, which in turn shuts off the solar system, and you go back to just running on the battery. This method is standard across the board for many AC coupled solutions, so it's not a negative, it's just kind of how they tend to work. But this is where Enphase and the Enpower Smart Switch really set themselves apart. Since Enphase systems use micro-inverters and all the energy is monitored through the Envoy and Enpower, the system can regulate the flow of power and shut off solar panels as needed to preserve the state of charge on the battery. Basically, what I'm saying is, during a grid failure, the solar provides the power to the home. I mean, the exact need. Say you're using 2 kilowatt hours of energy, the solar can provide that 2 kilowatt hours in energy, and the batteries are there to provide excess power as needed for larger appliances if they need starting, like an air conditioner or maybe a compressor on a refrigerator. This is really cool technology, and it makes sense why it's taken Enphase literally 3 years to perfect it, because they honestly were building a future-proof system. But we still have one more component to talk about, and that's the Encharge batteries. I mean, without the batteries, everything I discussed prior is kind of useless. You need the batteries to make a microgrid, no matter how advanced the solar and transformer technology is. Enphase focused on scalability with their battery system. So you can start with a small battery and grow as your energy demands change. Now, this is true to a degree. So don't expect to get a 30-panel microinverter system and one Encharge 3 battery and expect everything to be okie-dory. It doesn't really work like that. We do have design factors to take into account, and we do have to size the battery system according to Enphase specifications. at least if you want backup power. So, that's if you're using the batteries for time of use, we don't have to follow these specifications as much, but they will be very close in design. Let's talk about the Encharge battery, because while Enphase promotes 2 variations on their website, it's actually just one battery that can be connected in groups of 3. So the Encharge 3, which is the battery, is the standard battery you'll almost always get. Now, when you buy 3 of them at once, it's called the Encharge 10, and it has a special cover to make it appear as just one big battery. Most homeowners that want battery backup will likely need at least one Encharge 10 battery. This unit provides 10.1 kilowatt hours of usable energy with 3.8 kilowatts of continuous power output at roughly 16 amps. Now, I'll be the first to admit that the power output is lower than that of one Tesla Powerwall 2 and or a SolarEdge storage with LG Chem battery when in backup mode. So when these systems are in backup mode, it is less. But remember, this system can utilize the power from the solar system, so it does help balance things out a little better during the day at least. And if you're looking for whole home backup, you'll likely need 2, 3, maybe even 4 Encharge 10 batteries, which would bring you to par with 3 or 4 Powerwall 2s and leave SolarEdge, well, way behind in terms of kilowatt output and amps. The Encharge battery is made up of just a handful of components. Each battery unit ships pre-assembled with 4 special IQ8 microinverters, a battery management system, or also known as a BMS, and the chemistry of the batteries they're using is lithium iron phosphate. This is hands down my favorite chemistry for batteries. The minimalist approach ensures fewer points of failure and easier repairs if, say, a microinverter fails. The Encharge battery comes with a 10-year warranty or 4,000 cycles, whichever occurs first, before the storage capacity reaches a level less than 70%. And this is a very modest warranty, given it'll likely do much better than expected, since LFP batteries are known to have a better life than lithium-ion batteries. When all these components are installed together, you end up with the Enphase Ensemble system, a group of components working in harmony that have been meticulously engineered to maximize your investment for solar production and battery backup. There are a lot of advantages to the Enphase Ensemble system over other solar and battery solutions on the market. The fact that you can have your entire system warranted by a single manufacturer says a lot, and it's clear to me that Enphase is going to continue to be a leader in the solar industry and this growing battery sector because of their hard work and dedication to a renewable future. Now, before I let you go, I want to give you an estimate on an Enphase Ensemble system. Now, keep in mind that the pricing I'm showing is an estimate and it does vary depending on your home, location, situation. There's a lot of variables. So don't take this as an exact number of what a system will cost, but a good ballpark to start you off with. The system shown is a 6.8 kilowatt solar system using 20 QCell modules. They're the QPeak Duo G6 Pluses, 340 watt, all black, made in America, great product, paired with 20 Enphase Energy IQ7 Plus microinverters, again, great product. You're gonna get one Encharge 10 battery, and of course you're getting the Enpower Smart Switch for emergency backup. You also have the Enphase IQ Combiner 3C box. As of this video, we're estimating a cost of $38,990 before any upfront discounts, federal tax credits, and or state rebates like the California Self-Generation Incentive Program, which if you did qualify for the 26% federal tax credit and the standard SGIP rebate, your net cost would be roughly $26,429. Now, if you qualify for the equity resilience portion of SGIP rebate for the state of California, your net cost with the tax credit, that 26% from the federal government, would be roughly $18,753. That's very respectable. Remember, pricing is subject to change as well as the rebates and tax credits. So if you don't want to miss out, then get your hassle-free quote from us by visiting our website by using that link in the description below. Yeah, it's right down there. And You know what, while you're at it, you should click that subscribe button. That way you stay up to date on future solar and storage videos like this one. Thanks for watching. Until next time.